Welcome back to the Dr. Bowser Basketball Podcast, powered by Sports Guys Iowa. The state tournament week is here, and today we turn our attention to Class 3A, where the bracket features a great mix of experienced teams, standout seniors, and some really intriguing matchups right out of the gate. Class 3A kicks off state tournament week starting at 10:30 a.m. on Monday, March 9th. 8 teams have made their way to the KC Center in Des Moines, all chasing the same goal, a state championship. This year's Class 3A fields include number 1 seed Ballard, number 2 ADM, number 3 Storm Lake, number 4 Pella, number 5 Carroll, number 6 Solon, number 7 Cedar Rapids Xavier, and number 8 Gilbert. And if you followed Class 3A all season long, you know there are several teams capable of making a run. Today we'll break down the bracket, highlight key matchups, and take a look at some of the players who could define this tournament. Let's dive in to Class 3A state basketball. When you step back and take a look at the bracket, a couple of things stand out. At the top sits Ballard, the number 1 seed and the most efficient offensive teams in Class 3A this season. Right behind them is ADM, a veteran team led by one of the most explosive scorers in the state. Then you have Storm Lake and Pella, 2 balanced teams with multiple scoring options and strong senior leadership. But what really makes Class 3A interesting is the depth of the field. Teams like Carroll, Solon, Xavier, and Gilbert are capable of making life difficult for anyone. And as we've seen many times before at the Iowa State Tournament, once the games start in Des Moines, anything can happen. Let's dive into the quarterfinal matchups. Game number 1, March 9th at 10:30 in the morning, number 1 Ballard versus number 8 Gilbert. This tournament tips off in the morning with the top-seeded Ballard taking on Gilbert. Ballard has been one of the most consistent teams in 3A all season. They're balanced offensively and have multiple players capable of taking over a game. Junior Evan Abbott leads the Bombers at 19 points per game, shooting over 54% from the floor. Senior guard Jude Gibson adds 16.5 points and nearly 5 assists per game, while Parker Miller contributes 12 points, strong rebounding, and playmaking. This is a team that shares the ball well and can hurt opponents in several ways. Gilbert enters the state tournament as the number 8 seed, but brings a talented backcourt. Senior Preston Stensland averages 16 points a game, while sophomore Matthew Ochala adds 15.5 points and over 5 rebounds per game. The Tigers also have one of the better distributors in the class in William Taranis, who averages nearly 6 assists per game. If Gilbert can control tempo and limit Ballard's offensive rhythm, they could make this an interesting game. However, our prediction is for Ballard to advance. The second game of the day might be the most evenly matched quarterfinal in the bracket. 4th-seeded Pella takes on Carroll in a classic 4-5 matchup. Pella is led by one of the most efficient frontcourt players in the state in Jack McGuire, who averaged 17 points and nearly 7 rebounds per game while shooting an incredible 64% from the field. Senior Austin Schulte adds 16.8 points and 6.7 rebounds, giving Pella a strong inside presence. Carroll counters with a physical senior-led lineup. Jared Moore leads the Tigers with 15 points and over 8 rebounds per game, while Trey Tassel and Matt Collison provide additional scoring and playmaking. This matchup feels like the one that could be tight all the way down to the final possession. We will ride with Pella in this matchup. Game 3 of the 4 quarterfinals features second-seeded ADM against Xavier. ADM is led by one of the most dynamic scorers in Iowa, Hudson Lorenzen. Lorenzen averages 22 points a game while shooting over 53% from the field, 45% from 3, and an incredible 94% from the free throw line. Earlier in the season, we had Hudson's dad, Todd, the head coach of Graceland, on the podcast. It's going to be a busy week in the Lorenzen household. The Graceland Yellow Jackets are going to be preparing to play in the NAIA National Tournament in addition to ADM's journey at state. Senior guard Trey Burt adds 14.7 points per game and also serves as the team's primary playmaker with nearly 8 assists per game. Add Hudson Scholl, provides another scoring option at over 10 points per game. ADM has scoring, experience, and balance, all the things you need in March. Xavier will try to counter with disciplined defense and strong guard play. If the Saints can somehow slow the tempo and limit ADM's transition opportunities, they'll give themselves a chance. In the end, we think ADM advances to the semis. The final matchup features Storm Lake and Solon. Storm Lake brings one of the most dangerous offensive duos in the tournament. Senior Cameron Boyd averages 20.6 points per game, shooting nearly 45% from the three-point range. And Jaden Kuhn actually leads the team in scoring at 21.4 points per game, while also averaging nearly 9 rebounds. Inside, Garbieno Bueno adds 10 points and nearly 8 rebounds per game, giving Storm Lake a strong inside presence. Solon is led by junior Tate McCullum, who averages 19 points per game and shoots over 40% from three. Junior Maddox Kelly contributes 10.6 points and nearly 5 rebounds per game, while also serving as the team's primary facilitator. This game could feature a lot of perimeter shooting and offensive firepower. I've coached AAU players from both of these schools, and I have a lot of positive memories for both. This is a tough choice for me, but I have to go with Storm Lake and the Tornadoes on this one. One of the great things about the Iowa State tournament is the opportunity for players to step into the biggest stage in high school basketball. In Class 3A, there is no shortage of talent. For Ballard, keep an eye on Evan Abbott and Jude Gibson, two guards capable of taking over a game. ADM features one of the state's most efficient scorers in Hudson Lorenzen, along with elite playmaker Tate Burt. Storm Lake has a dynamic duo in Cameron Boyd and Jaden Kuhn, both capable of big scoring nights. For Pella, Jack McGuire and Austin Schulte give the Dutch a strong inside presence. Carroll will rely heavily on Jared Moore, one of the top rebounders in the class. Solon's offense runs through Tate McCullum, a dangerous shooter from deep. And Gilbert's Preston Stensland and Matthew Ochala led a balanced attack of capable point guards, putting points on the board. These are the players who could define the Class 3A tournament. Taking a look towards the semifinals and championship game, if our predictions play out, semifinal number 1 will be Ballard versus Pella. We think the number 1 seed pulls away late after a tough game to reach the championship. Semifinal number 2 would be ADM taking on Storm Lake. I think this one could go extra time, could go to overtime. And I feel like if it goes overtime, Storm Lake is able to find a way to get a late stop and maybe a bucket to win the game in dramatic fashion. In the championship, then, Ballard would take on Storm Lake. We think they could put on an offensive show. We think this could be a fun game to watch, and ultimately, Storm Lake finds a way to win, cutting down the nets. And that's what makes the Iowa State tournament special. Different regions, different styles, all meeting on one floor. And once the tournament starts, anything can happen. Class 3A always delivers. Great guard play, balanced scoring, and teams capable of making deep runs. And when you add in the atmosphere of the state tournament week in Des Moines, it creates one of the best environments in high school sports anywhere in the country. This has been the Dr. Bowser Basketball Podcast, powered by Sports Guys Iowa. I'm Chris Bowser. Enjoy the tournament, and we'll see you back here soon for more Iowa basketball coverage.